Alright guys, so I'm going to be mixing up the paint now, and kind of mix my own color. I used Rustoleum Smoke Gray. And then I mixed a little bit of flat black into it to make my own darker gray color and see how that comes out. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to mix this up. So what I'm going to be using is a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you look right here on my measuring cup, it says 3 to 1 to 1. I'm just going to go, of course, just 3 to 1 and then just ignore the last one. So I'm only going to be mixing just under about 20 ounces every time. That's going to be alright for me, but I'm going to be painting the door jambs first. I'm going to give them a first coat, so that's going to be alright. But if that doesn't fill it up all the way, I'm going to try to mix a little bit more later on, that way I don't have to stop in between painting the car when I'm painting the whole car. So I'll show you guys how I'm going to do that real quick. I'm using mineral spirits to cut it down. I've used this gun before a few days ago. I'm gonna pour, and I've already cleaned it, but I'm gonna pour some mineral spirits, just straight mineral spirits in here, and just spray through it just to make sure there isn't anything blocking it before I pour the paint in there. So I mixed it up pretty thoroughly with the mineral spirits. So I did 3 parts paint and 1 part mineral spirits. I'm gonna run it through a strainer real quick before I throw it through the gun. I'm just using a Husky Home Depot gun that I bought a few years ago for $100. So, all I'm going to do is paint this and try to keep at about 6 to 10 inches away from where the surface I'm painting in equal distance. I'm going to go back and forth, and I'm going to overlap about 50% overlap. So I'm going to go 1, 2, overlap, overlap a little bit, overlap, overlap, overlap. And it seems like I have it set up pretty right from last time. We can't be torn apart. We are linked together, forging fire forever. We are linked together. The body and the 2 light coats on the door jambs between 6 to 8 hours ago. This mix, what I end up using is 4 parts paint and 1 part mineral spirits. I think it's because my climate here, it's pretty cold. It's well, relatively, it's about 60 degrees inside the booth. So I'm able to keep it consistent with keeping a little heater in here, but I think that's causing and today was also a little bit of more of a musky, relatively humid day for Colorado. Tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more of a drier day and a little bit more sunny, so it's pretty late right now. It's actually about 6 o'clock. So I'm actually going to give the car 1 more light coat, 1 more door jamb light coat, and 1 more body coat, because the body, after 6 hours, after 1 light coat, it's actually dry to the touch. Door jambs are still they're almost completely dry to the touch. So I'm going to give that a light coat and the whole body a light coat as well. And we'll go from there and see how it comes out tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow morning it's completely dried out. I'm pretty sure it will be. I'll leave the heater in here, and the tent's completely closed up so it gets relatively hot in here. So I'm going to get to it. It's the next day, and it is actually pretty dry to the touch. So I got 2 light coats on the body, 3 light coats on the door jambs, and it's actually looking not too bad. And I actually got the bumper as well, 1 coat on the front bumper, painted last night. Everything's dry to the touch. I'm gonna, because I see these little white like stuff that just settled on it. It's not stuck to the body or anything. So I'm gonna hit it with the tack cloth again, and that way I make sure I get all that little stuff that's flying around. Because I'm definitely gonna give it another, at least 2 more light coats today on the body, and 1 more light coat on the door jamb, and I should be done with the door jambs. But I'm gonna hit it with the tack cloth, do the door jambs, and let the door jambs dry for about 2 hours. Come back and take off all of this paper. Looking 2 light coats, what it looks like so far. But this is 1 light coat on the bumper right here. You guys can see. Overall, for the paint itself, it is, I think it was well worth it. I'm probably into it paint-wise about 20 bucks. So with supplies and everything, I'm definitely sure I'm under the budget of 50 bucks paint-wise. I'm pretty happy with the results so far. The only reason why it's taking me so long to get this done is because the paint is taking so long to dry. So it's actually taken about 4 to 6 hours for the paint to be dry to the touch. Next time I'm going to try acetone. If it's as cold as it is today or the last few days, it's been about 40 to 50, 60 something degree at the highest. It's definitely a little colder than the mineral spirits likes it. So it makes it real runny. If you are using mineral spirits, you just got to worry about runs, and depending on what climate, of course, you're in. If you're in a really hot, dry climate, like if this was summertime here in Colorado, I'm willing to bet it would have been perfect. I think right now, because it's colder, I should have used probably acetone. So between coats, if you did want to kind of speed it up, I wouldn't recommend even putting a coat any faster than 2 hours. That's when it's kind of sticky to the touch. Then you can give it 1 light coat, and then wait till it's sticky to the touch, 2 hours, and then give it another light coat. At that point, you gotta wait 6 hours at the very least for it to be completely dry, so you can give it another light coat, and then maybe wait another 2 hours and give it another light coat. And at that point, you have 4 light coats, and that should cover it pretty well from there. If there's any runs, anything, scratches or anything like that you want to fix, as it's such a heavy layer of paint, you could always wet sand and buff it out. I'm not planning on doing that to this car, but if I did want to, I could make it a lot better with almost a mirror finish if I do wet sand it and buff it out. And I'm still using that half of a tack cloth. So I got that tack cloth, it was on sale at Walmart or something like that one day, and I just grabbed it. It was for 99 cents. Normal price is like $2, and I actually cut it in half, and I've been using the same piece since I started with this car. So that just tells you how much, how far this stuff can go. And I don't like to touch it with my bare hand. I put a paper towel because it does make your hand pretty sticky. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do to fix this bumper here. I guess last night when I was spraying this, if you look, this is against the door here, it's really cold, and when I was doing the first light coat, I may have accidentally ran across here a little too long, and I did get a run right there on the first coat. So it's been about 12 hours since I did this, and it was inside the heat here in the tent. So I'm going to try to wet sand this and see if I can get rid of that run before I give it another coat. If you look at it now, after wet sanding it, I kind of feathered it all out and got rid of it. If I really did want to, between coats, I could always wet sand the whole car with like an 800 grit, and that would actually give the car a way better mirror finish with the amount of coats that I'm putting on it and how I covered everything, and I did door jambs and I went all the way around every panel. That will make it last longer. So it's the next day, so it's my third day painting. Got 4 coats on the door jambs and 3 light coats on the body. So 4 light coats and 3 light coats. I'm going to take off all the tape from the door jambs. When I pull this, I'm going to pull it away like this. If you do any kind of motion like towards it, you could end up cutting the paint with it. So you want to go I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and gained some knowledge and some confidence so you guys can do this yourself at home. If you need some tips on preparing your car to get it to this point where it's ready to paint, check out my other video under preparing your vehicle for painting at home. It also has some tips on there on setting up a paint booth at home using a Harbor Freight tent. And the results speak for themselves, as you can see. As well as check out my other videos. I'm building a CRX that's pretty unique. It's for drag racing, doing everything myself and giving tips along the way. And I want to give a shout out to Young Static and 79th Production for putting out videos and giving me the confidence to make this video and to do this paint job at home. If you guys haven't seen their videos already, check them out. It did actually match the stock paint pretty well. If you look back here, the trunk door jam, the trunk jam I did not paint, and it almost matches it identically. But of course you can tell that the original paint with the clear coat on it, base coat clear coat, is a little more shiny than